Today on Laura's Art Basement, I'm visiting a lighthouse. The recent interest in old sea shanties has inspired me. I'm going to try a drawing using sea salt. Now, I've never done a salt drawing before, but trying something new is half the fun. So let's see how it goes. But it looks like there's a bit of a storm coming in, so I'm heading into the lighthouse. Having never done a salt drawing before, I start by just moving around some of the salt on the paper. I'm using some cardstock, my fingers, both ends of a brush, just to see how I can move the grains of salt around. I'm already frustrated at not being able to make a thin line with the salt. I'm just trying to figure out how to put in some detail. Right away I figure out that if I had done this picture in a bigger scale, it would have been easier to put in some of the detail. And then I hit the table. Here I'm adding in some texture to the ribbing of the hat. I'm trying to put some texture back into the beard, but it's too harsh, so I'll have to soften that up. I'm using a coarser salt to try and get some texture in the sweater and the hat. I'm probably using too much salt. A simple black and white graphic would have been a lot easier to do when you're doing it in such a small size. I don't think salt drawings are really my thing, but you don't know until you try. But I think the fisherman deserves a second chance, so I'm going to do a portrait of the fisherman using oil pastels. So right away I find out that I don't have the right flesh tone. So I start layering in some brown and some yellow and some warm colors and blending them in with the flesh tone. These pastels are very waxy, so I have to keep removing the flakes. I'm pressing very hard to blend the colors to create the flesh color that I'm looking for. A couple of times in the video, I actually snap the pastels from putting too much pressure on them, trying to blend the colors. I'm adding in some yellow and some highlights. And then blending it in with the flesh tone. Then I started to do his beard and I realized that the set only has one gray. The other color that I thought was a darker gray actually is more green. So again, I layer in some browns and some yellows to try and get some different shades into the beard. Then I go over it and blend it in with the gray and add in some white. I just keep layering in and blending the colors until I get something that I like. It would be a lot easier if I had more colors to choose from in the set. This is a pinker flesh tone. It's light without being as stark as the white. There's some black and some dark brown for some shadows. I have to keep going back to the mid-tone flesh to blend everything in. Add in some reflection on the pipe, and I start to do the hat. Now I don't have the gray that I wanted for the hat, so I try using that greenish gray, but then decided that I wanted it to be more blue tones, so I added in some blue greens and some blues. And then added some dimension to the ribbing on the hat. Some highlight and shading on the top of the hat to give some depth, and some more highlights on the ribbing. Since I don't have a variety of grays, I decided to do the sweater in blues. This set has quite a few blues. I thought that would be good for blending. So I just cleaned off a little bit on his neck where I actually broke one of the pastels and it left a mark. So I picked that up. I decided that the hat would look better if it had more blue in it. It would go better with the sweater. Of course, the more layers you put on, the more the pastels flake. All the blending is done with pastel on top of pastel. So you'll see me using the palette knife to remove some of the flakes that don't easily brush off. I wanted to make the drawing pop by adding in a background, but the yellow is a little too bright, so I tone it down with some orange. And there it is. Subscribe to be notified about more art videos on my channel. Share this video with anyone you know who might enjoy it, and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed it.